Hello everyone. Today I am going to teach you about CVS, that is cardiovascular system. In this lecture we will deal with general introduction regarding cardiovascular system as well as types of circulation and characteristics of the arteries and their supplies. Okay. First we start with cardiovascular system is the transport system of the body through which the nutrients are conveyed to place where these are utilized and the metabolized, okay, and are conveyed to the appropriate place from where these are expelled. Okay, this is the transporting system through which the nutrients are conveyed to place where these are utilized. In second portion, the metabolized are conveyed to appropriate place from where these are expelled. The conveying medium is liquid tissue, the blood, which flows in tubular channels called blood vessels. The circulation is maintained by the central pumping organ called the heart, that everyone knows. Components: cardiovascular system is closed system of tubes made up of following parts based on their structural and topographical characteristics. Okay, in this diagram you can see components of the heart. Okay, pulmonary artery, vein, left atrium, mitral valve, aortic valve, left ventricle, septum, right ventricle, pulmonary valve, tricuspid valve, right atrium, SVC, that is superior vena cava, arch of aorta, brachiocephalic, left common carotid, and subclavian. Okay, these are the branches of arch of aorta. Now, what is heart? Heart, it is a four-chamber muscular organ which pumps blood to various parts of the body. Each half of the heart has a receiving chamber called atrium and pumping chamber called the ventricle. In this diagram, you can see right atrium, left atrium. These are the receiving chambers as well as ventricle. Okay, right ventricle and left ventricle, pumping chamber. Arteries, these are distributing channels which carry blood away from the heart. They branch like trees on their way to different parts of the body. The large arteries are rich in elastic tissue, but as the branching progresses, there is an ever increasing amount of smooth muscle in their walls. Okay. The minute branches which are just visible to naked eye are called arterioles. Angion is a Greek word meaning vessels, blood vessel or lymph vessels. Its word derivatives are angiology, angiography, hemangioma, thromboangiitis obliterans. Okay, means there will be clotting and inflammation in the artery and veins of the hand and feet. Okay. Veins, these are draining channels which carry blood from different parts of the body back to the heart. Okay, draining channels which carry blood from different parts of the body back to the heart. Like rivers, the veins are formed by the tributaries. Okay, the small veins join together to form veins, which in turn unite from great veins called vena cava. In heart, we have seen SVC. Okay, superior vena cava. In this diagram, you can see artery, image of artery and vein. First, artery, connective tissue in both sides. Tunica, it is called tunica externa. Smooth muscle and elastic fibers called tunica media, and endothelium cells, that is tunica interna. In when there is valve. Okay, and in further it forms capillary, small, as well as venule and arterioles. Okay, now we will discuss capillaries. Capillaries also we have discussed in terminology portion. Okay, these are networks of microscopic vessels which connect arterioles with venules. These come in intimate contact with the tissues for free exchange of nutrients and they metabolize across their walls between the blood and the tissue fluid. Okay, the metabolites are partly drained by the capillaries and partly by the lymphatics. Okay, capillaries are replaced by sinusoids in the certain organs like liver and spleens. Sinusoids, small thin blood vessels lined by endothelial cells with irregular lumen. Okay, in short, capillaries are uh, small microscopic vessels networks. Okay, functionally the blood vessels can be classified into the following five groups: distributing vessels including arteries, resistance vessels including arterioles and precapillary sphincters, exchange vessels including capillaries and sinusoids and postcapillary venules, reservoir vessels including larger venules and veins, shunt including various types of anastomosis. Okay, first distributing vessels, resistance vessel, third exchange vessels, reservoir and shunt. Okay, anastomosis. In this diagram again you can see arteriole and venules. Now we will see regarding types of circulation. Okay, types of circulation: first systemic, pulmonary, and third one is portal, SPP, systemic, pulmonary and portal circulation. The blood flows from the left ventricle through the various part of the body to the right atrium, that is from the left to the right side of the heart. Okay, in this diagram you can see systemic circulation. The blood flows from the left ventricle through the various parts of the body to the right atrium, that is from the left to the right side of the heart. Pulmonary circulation: the blood flows from the right ventricle through the lungs to the left atrium, that is from the right to the left side of the heart. Okay, in this diagram you can see the blood flows from the right ventricle through the lungs to the left atrium, that is from the right to the left side of the heart. Okay, portal circulation: it is a part of systemic circulation which has the following characteristics. Okay, in this diagram you can see three types of circulation: cardiac, pulmonary and systemic. Cardiac circulation: circulation of the blood within the heart. Pulmonary: from heart to lung back to the heart. Systemic: from heart to body back to the heart. Arteries and their characteristic features: arteries are thick walled, being uniformly thicker than accompanying veins except for the arteries within the cranium and vertebral canal where these are thin. Okay, it means in cranium and vertebral canal these are thinner. Okay, generally they are thick. Okay, their lumen is smaller than that of the accompanying veins. Arteries have no valves, that we have seen in this diagram. Arteries have no valves. Okay, in this diagram you can see in vein there is valve and artery has no valve. An artery is usually accompanied by veins, nerve, and three of them together from neurovascular bundle, which is surrounded and supported by a fibroareolar sheath. Okay, it means artery, vein and nerves, these are covered or supported by fibroareolar sheath. Now, types of arteries and structures. Large arteries of elastic type, example aorta, it is main branches, its main branches are brachiocephalic, common carotid and subclavian, okay, that we have seen, brachiocephalic, common carotid and subclavian. And the pulmonary arteries, medium and small arteries of muscular type, temporal, occipital, radial, popliteal, these are the examples of the medial and small arteries of muscular type. Smallest arteries of the muscular type are called arterioles, that we have seen in the previous diagram, artery, and at the end it was forming arterioles. They are measuring 50 to 100 microns in the diameter. Arterioles divide into terminal arterioles with the diameter of 15 to 20 micron and having one or two layers of smooth muscle in their walls. The side branches from the terminal arterioles are called meta-arterioles, which measures 10 to 15 micron at their origin and about 5 micron at their termination. Okay, in this diagram you can see all we have discussed: capillaries, bed and arterioles and arteriole and venule, blood flow, artery, then its termination or at the end it forms arteriole, then precapillary sphincter, anal sphincter, etc., that we have studied, then arteriovenous shunt, capillaries, vein, venule. Okay, capillary beds consist of two types of vessels. Vascular shunt directly connect to the arteriole to a venule. Arteriole to a venule, it is termed as capillary bed. True capillaries exchange vessels, oxygen and nutrients cross to cells, carbon dioxide and metabolic waste products cross into the blood. Okay, in B diagram you can see the terminal narrow end of meta-arteriole is surrounded by precapillary sphincter. Okay, precapillary sphincter. Okay, in this diagram you can see precapillary sphincter, which regulates blood flow into capillary bed. It is important to know that the muscular arterioles are responsible for generating peripheral resistance and thereby for regulating diastolic pressure, blood pressure. Generally everyone knows 120 by 80 blood pressure mmHg. Okay, 80 is the diastolic blood pressure. Okay, and 120 it is normal systolic blood pressure, that you have to remind, because many time in viva for just checking knowledge they ask what is the diastolic pressure and what is the systolic pressure. Okay, but at the end no one knows. Microscopically, all the arteries are made up of three cords. The inner cord is called tunica intima, the middle cord is called tunica media, the outer cord is called tunica adventitia. It is strongest of all cords and merges with the perivascular sheath. Okay, in this diagram you can see structure of the artery: tunica externa, tunica media, tunica intima, smooth muscle, okay, internal elastic membrane, external elastic membrane, endothelium, elastic fiber, as well as lumen of vein, lumen of artery. Okay, you can see tunica externa, media and intima, same in the vein, smooth muscle and endothelium. Now we will see regarding blood supply of the arteries. The large arteries of more than 1 mm diameter are supplied with blood vessels. The nutrient vessels called vasa vasorum. Okay, it means which provides the nutrition. It is termed as vasa lacerum from dense capillary network in the tunica adventitia and supplying the adventitia and the outer part of the tunica media. The rest of the vessels wall, tunica intima, and inner part of the media is nourished directly by the diffusion from the luminal blood. Minute veins accompanying the arteries drain the blood from the outer part of the arterial wall. Lymphatics are also present in the tunica adventitia or externa. Now, palpable arteries. Some arteries can be palpated through the skin. These are common: carotid, facial, brachial, radial, abdominal, femoral, posterior tibial, and dorsalis pedis. Okay, generally, whenever we go to the clinic, physician hold the hand and something palpate or feel, that is radial artery. Okay, but other than that, there are so many arteries in our body which can be palpated. First, from craniocaudally, carotid artery, then brachial artery that we have seen, it is used for measurement of blood pressure. Radial artery, femoral artery, okay, popliteal artery, posterior tibial artery. It means it will be located on the posterior side. Then dorsalis pedis artery. Now we will see regarding nerve supply of the arteries. The nerves of supplying an artery are called nervi vascularis. Okay, remember this word. The nerves supplying an artery are called nervi vascularis. The nerves are mostly non-myelinated sympathetic fibers which are vasoconstrictor in the function. A few fibers are myelinated and are believed to be sensory to the outer and inner coats of the arteries. Vasodilator, okay, innervation is restricted to the following sites: the skeletal muscles. Vessels are dilated by cholinergic sympathetic nerves. The exocrine glands vessels are dilated on parasympathetic stimulation. Okay, that you have to remind vasodilator, etc. The cutaneous vessels are dilated locally to produce flare, redness after an injury. Okay, it means whenever hit or something, wherever we fall, at that time there is redness. It is due to the cutaneous vessels are dilated locally. Okay, due to injury. The vasodilation is produced by the afferent impulses in the cutaneous nerves which pass antidromically in their collaterals to blood vessels. Axon reflex. Okay, thank you everyone. But you have to remember this palpable artery because it is important. It can be asked in viva as well as in general practice. It is more important. So at the end of lecture, once again I am going to revise you: carotid artery, a brachial artery that is used for pulse measurement. Radial, okay, brachial for blood pressure measurement, radial for pulse measurement. Femoral artery, okay, femoral artery also used for our embulbing process. Popliteal artery in popliteal fossa. Posterior tibial artery, okay, located on the posterior side. Dorsalis pedis, okay. So, and these are the palpable artery which can be useful in our practice. Okay, so thank you.